Good evening, viewers. This is Mutone Daniela, Afro News TV special commentary on Rwenzori attacks, Uganda's intelligence under question. The repeated and coordinated attacks on security forces in Uganda Rwenzori sub-region are not random acts of violence. These are deliberated, well-planned assaults that reveal a growing and deeply concerning intelligence failure. When organization armed group can launch attacks on military barracks and police stations repeatedly and with precision, it suggests that Ugandan security apparatus, one of the most advanced in the region, is being overmaneuvered. For years, the Ugandan government has invested heavily in surveillance, communication technology, and intelligence training. Yet the pattern of attacks shows that reaction has replaced prevention. Security forces are responding after the damage has already been done, when lives has been lost and morale shaken. The question is this: how did this group continue to evade such a sophisticated intelligence network? Is it a failure of coordination between agencies, a lack of real-time ground intelligence, or are there deeper system gaps, possibly even infiltration, within the security system itself? Experts and citizens alike are demanding answers. The public deserves transparency and accountability for those responsible for protecting them. Uganda must move from reactive defense to proactive security, anticipating threats, neutralizing them early, and restoring public confidence in the state's capacity to protect its people. The Rwenzori region, long known for its breathtaking mountains and cultural heritage, cannot continue to be defined by insecurity and fear. This is a test of national will, leadership, and intelligence community's ability to adapt to a changing threat environment. Daniela Mutoni reporting for Afro News TV, where Africa truth meets the world. In Tanzania, a country once praised for stability and progress, now shaken by the deadliest political unrest in its modern history. Reports from human rights observers suggest hundreds may have died following protests that erupted and after disputed national election. The Tanzanian government insists it acted to maintain order, but eyewitnesses, civil society activists, and humanitarian organizations describe something else: an alarming human rights crisis. Over the next minutes, we'll take you through the protests, the government's response, eyewitness accounts, the international outcry, and the growing demand for accountability before the International Criminal Court (ICC). The spark in the street. The unrest began after the October 29, 2025 election, which opposition leaders called a democratic illusion. In Dar es Salaam, Mwanza, Arusha, and Beira, thousands of young people flooded the street, chanting for free and fair election. Within hours, police and army units were deployed nationwide. Some verified by independent journalists showed soldiers firing live ammunition in densely populated areas. Eyewitnesses tell Afro News TV that many protesters were unarmed students and unemployed youth demanding political change. Internet access was restricted, social media platforms blocked, at a 6 p.m. curfew imposed in several regions. By the third day, hospitals were overwhelmed. Opposition figures claimed that more than 800 young people had died, though official figures acknowledge only about 10 fatalities, according to the Human Rights Office and Reuters. International media struggled to verify these claims as journalists were detained and foreign reporters expelled from the key cities. Human rights accountability and the ICC debate. Human rights defenders now say this is not just a national tragedy, it could have become legal and international matter. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have issued urgent statements calling for the UN-led inquiry into the alleged killings and disappearance. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights expressed alarm, saying, quote, "We are deeply concerned by reports of excessive use of force by Tanzanian security agencies. We urge the authorities to ensure accountability and transparency." The International Criminal Court, while not officially involved, is under mounting pressure to investigate whether crimes against humanity were committed. Legal experts note that if Tanzanian citizens were targeted for exercising their right to protest, it could meet the ICC's threshold to prosecution under international law. Critics accuse the government of suppressing dissent, while the ruling party defends its action as necessary to preserve peace. The tension between security and democracy is now the central question. How far can a government go in defending itself before it crosses into repression? Let's hear the voice from the ground. Afronews TV spoke with local activists, church leaders, and residents in Dar es Salaam, Mwanza. One of the youth leaders speaking anonymously for safety reasons told us, "We are not criminals. We are singing, waving flags, and demanding justice. Then the army came with guns." Hospitals in coastal and northern region have confirmed treating hundreds of people with bullet wounds and tear gas injuries. In quiet hospital ward, a nurse described an influx of injured young men and women. Some came bleeding, some unconscious. "We had no blood, no power, and no protection." Religious leaders have appealed for calm and dialogue, urging the president to address the nation and open an independent inquiry. Meanwhile, many families are still searching for missing relatives, young people who left to protest and never came back home. International and regional reaction. Across Africa and beyond, the world is watching. The African Union has called for restraint and dialogue. The East African community has urged Tanzania to respect democracy rights and avoid violence. From Washington, D.C. to Brussels and London, foreign ministries have expressed concern. The United States Department of State said, "We are deeply troubled by the reports of violence in Tanzania. Accountability must be ensured for the victims." European Union's envoys are reportedly considered target sanctions if the government refuses an independent investigation. The UN Human Rights Council is preparing to debate an emergency resolution next week in Geneva. Regional analysts warned that instability in Tanzania could ripple through East Africa, affecting trade, tourism, and security cooperation. For ordinary Tanzania, however, the crisis is deeply personal. They struggled for dignity, democracy, and justice. The road ahead. As the death toll debate continues, the international community faces a dilemma: how to pressure Tanzania to act without isolating one of East Africa's economic key. Legal experts say the International Criminal Court could only intervene if Tanzania's justice system fails to act, or if the security of the UN Council refers the case. Tanzania's civic groups are now mobilizing petitions urging the ICC to launch a preliminary examination. Within Tanzania, calls to reform are growing. The youth movement beyond the protest have vowed to continue peacefully demonstrating until justice is served. Yet the government insists that the law and order must prevail and warns against foreign interference. The coming weeks will test whether Tanzania leadership can rebuild trust or face deepening unrest and international isolation. What we conclude saying, tonight's story is about power, justice, and the value of life. Tanzania now stands at a crossroads between denial and accountability, between silence and reform. The families of those who died deserve truth. The survivors demand justice, and the world from Africa to The Hague is listening. I'm Daniela Mutoni for Afronews TV International, bringing you this special report from East Africa. Stay informed, stay aware, and continue demanding truth wherever you are. Thank you. Good evening.